Assalamu alaikum. Hello, dear students of fourth year honors Department of English, Dhaka Women College under National University. You know very well that we have been taking online classes, and by this time I have given only one lecture. Dear students, you know it is the 19th century novels. First of all, you should have to find out where I am. At the corner of the board, you see Dhaka Women College, Depth of English, Honors 4th year, course number 2401, lesson number 2. I am Siddharth Jahangir Hussain, head of the Department of English. This is my second lecture. So, dear students, welcome to my one-line lecture. I think you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah, and also I am well. So, I am here. The last lecture I have delivered about the life history of the novelist of Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen. You know, Jane Austen wrote a lot of novels, but 4 or 5 novels are very, very important. And these are very remarkable in 19th century when Queen Victoria was the Queen of England. You know, the number 1, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, and also Persuasion, together with Northanger Abbey. These are remarkable and very important novel of Jane Austen. So first of all, the introduction. The last lecture I told you that the next lecture will be held on introduction, and that is the background. Jane Austen actually is a remarkable novelist in 19th century. Among all of her works, Pride and Prejudice is the greatest of the writer. It also illustrates as well as her limitations. The novel actually expresses her delight in love, in life and love for comedy. So sometimes it deals with the contemporary society through ridiculous activities. But here we see two abstract ideas, and the idea of pride and the idea of prejudice. So pride and prejudice, the words are totally abstract, quarreled with human behavior. So we can say the novel is primarily concerned with the abstract ideas. The characters show different kinds of humor and also various traits of human behavior. So, human behavior is one of the most important points of this novel Pride and Prejudice. Here, near about a lot of characters are, but 7 marriages here. Mr. Barrett is a cynic Lida is a flyer, Mary is pedant, Darcy a proud character, Collins a potential conceit, and Sir William Lucas a fertile dullard, and so on, etc. So every characters here mainly centered with their home activities. Number 2, love story of man and women. Of course, the novel Pride and Prejudice actually deal with love of man and woman. Here the writer shows us man is full of pride and woman is blended with prejudice. It is also a satire upon life in a small village called Longbourn in Southern in England. Number 3, important historically and critically. Yes, of course, the novel is very important. Mainly it has two sides, historical and critical. So, critically and historically, the novel is remarkable in 19th century. Historically, it introduced a new kind of fiction. You know very well, 18th century was an age of picturesque romance, high towers, and underground essays. It was the age of terror, horror, mystery, but as opposed of romance, sentimental novels full of tears and sorrows also. So there is a difference. But the writer or the novelist Jane Austen of Pride and Prejudice took the middle way or middle path to establish herself in the society as a great writer. So, Jane Austen is in this respect is very important novelist. Number 4, deal human characters. Deal human characters, a new tradition of fiction. Yes, Jane Austen is trying to show a new tradition of fiction. So, Pride and Prejudice is the first novel that deals of human characters. So, human characters are very important theme of the novel. One of the most important critic, Mr. F.R. Lewis, has assigned in his great book the name The Great Tradition, Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. The novel has inaugurated the tradition of fiction, especially in the history of novel in English literature in England. She actually did not follow any predecessors because she wanted to set up herself according to her method, idea, thought. So, she actually rightly started her own tradition of fiction that was followed by the other succeeding novelists in England the next time. But Jane Austen did not follow anybody or any predecessors. So here Jane Austen is totally separated from other because her idea is totally different, and she took the middle way between the Romanticism and also the 19th century. So we can say she is a very important novelist. Here, number 5, the first chapter, daughter's marriage, domestic theme. When we open the novel, we see, or in the very beginning of the novel, in the first chapter, there is a note of orchestration. It is noted, very important. The chapter opens with the statement. The statement is like a proverb. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of good fortune must be in want of a wife. So, wealth, property, money, riches, aristocracy is one of the important points of the time to marry and to set up in the society. Jane Austen actually started this novel by using these words or sentence. Here, he shows the possession of a good man. So, who is a good man? Who is rich? Who has property? Who has a status? But you know very well, though she was born in a middle class society. So here we see the sole concern of Mr. Bennet is to get rid of her daughter's marriage. Marriage was the main theme of that family. So here we say the entire novel is based on the domestic theme. That is family problems, family attested relationship. The total theme is rounded with the domestic elements, domestic theme, domestic ideas. Because there is no firework or dynamic story in this novel. But it is a very important. Okay, number 6. Jane Austen conception, human personality. Jane Austen actually is a spectator of characters. He uses different type of characters here. Jane Austen actually puts men and women in a certain environment and continues to study them in detail. Jane Austen actually wants to find out the correct method of approach to human personality that she has been followed or she has introduced in her famous novel Pride and Prejudice. You know, if you go through the novel, you see a lot of contemporary elements are there. A lot of contemporary elements in this novel of the society of the time. Like description of dances, balls and parties is scattered throughout the story. throughout the novel. But Jane Austen actually tried to show through this novel using different type of characters the real society of England of that time. So, but we can say that Jane Austen is not primarily concerned with contemporary England. She tried to show the what happens in England of the time. So the key point of the novel is the study of human character. So we can say that mainly the human characters are the main dealing point of Jane Austen. Jane Austen really very nicely introduced her idea of that contemporary time about England and the people of England through her novel Pride and Prejudice. So mainly it is the novel of human behavior. So the novelist Jane Austen is almost like Shakespeare in this respect, but not in wholly. She was brought up in middle class. So he took the middle way. And through the characters of different type of characters, she tried to make the good picture of England of that time. Number 7. Selection and transmission, personal and family problems. Yes, it is right. Jane Austen by this time proved herself that she follows the method of selection and transmutation. Actually, she wanted to set up her own idea through her famous novel Pride and Prejudice, the society of England of the time. So here she used a lot of characters, and all the characters mainly centered with the activities of home. So the plot construction is going within a very short place, and the place name is Longbourn in Southampton in England. It is a small village. All the Bennet sisters, like Jane the eldest, Elizabeth II, Leda, Jane and Mary and Catherine also are preoccupied with their own personal and domestic and also family problems. So all the characters are involved in family problems. On the other hand, like Darcy, Bingley, Collins or William Lucas are the same characters. So the Bingley's families, all the daughters, 5 daughters are there, their characters, and the male characters like Darcy, Bingley, Collins, William Lucas, etc. They are same. It is a palace-like atmosphere of quite a country, houses or drawing room that we find in the novel from beginning to end. So in a very short place, The novel deals about the human character, human personality, human behavior. So we can say it was mainly a psychological importance. It has a psychological importance. Jane Austen actually here or through Pride and Prejudice, which was published 1813. Actually, Jane Austen was written in 1797, but it was published in 1813. So here we say Pride and Prejudice is a famous novel written by Jane Austen, a lady of England of that time, but she took the middle way to reproduce herself in the society. So the characters are here are very important to show their real behavior pattern of England of that time. Let's see number 8. No excitement or psychological. No excitement. The novel deals mainly the love story, or the main theme of the novel is mainly the homely activities or domestic activities. There is no hurriness. There is no busy excitement in this novel. There is no firework. Longbourn Haunts or Pemberley is a place where there is no any extra excitement, and the dialogues of the characters, the subtle reflexes of methods and feelings that makes the story full of psychological importance. So at last we can say the novel is deals mainly about the psychological problems of a family of Bingley in England of that time. So through this novel, Jane Austen actually tried to show the real picture of the country of England of 19th century. Dear students, I like to stop here because no excitement psychological. So it is important, I think, and dear students, please try to follow the lectures. And I think you are the students of 4th year honors, very careful about your life. And next time, I like to go another lecture. Up to that, please stay home, stay safe, and stay blessed. Thank you all for the cooperation. Allah Hafiz.